everyone. For my regulars, welcome. I'm always glad when y'all return and come back and see the videos. And for those who are new here, welcome. For those who don't know, I'm Tiara, aka TT, and I want to bring to y'all in this video the Fourth Amendment right, second part. And the Fourth Amendment, for those who don't know, is search and seizure. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded the first part. This is the second part. Guys, so much has happened in 2019 alone, just this month alone, as you guys can see. I just want to let you guys know, don't mind the changes. We'll get to that in another video. Stay tuned, all right? So for those who need a refresher on, what we've covered already in our segment, Black, Female, Queer, and Legal, covering the Fourth Amendment right, search and seizure. Just go back to the first video to this part. It's the first part of the Fourth Amendment, and that'll give you at least some refresher on what the Fourth Amendment is, what is probable cause, reasonable suspicion, some of the cases that made search warrants a requirement, etc., all that information. So where we left off the last time is fruit of the poisonous tree. And for those who don't know what fruit of the poisonous tree is in the legal system, it's pretty much a doctrine that pretty much goes off of the exclusionary rule. It pretty much makes evidence inadmissible in court if it was derived off of illegally achieved evidence. So, for example, if a police officer illegally searches you, they pull you over for a traffic violation. They said, "Sir or ma'am, I'm pulling you over because you ran the stop sign." And then you're like, okay, they're supposed to give you the ticket for running the stop sign. However, they ask you to get out the car. Now they're searching you, going all in your pockets. And then they find an eighth of weed. And this pretty much says that that eighth of weed cannot be admissible in court, or anything else that was found on your person, because of the fact that it was brought about in an illegal way. That's pretty much all it is. Two cases that pretty much brought this into motion. The very first case in 1920, we have Silverthorne Lumber Company versus United States, which pretty much stated that illegally seized evidence were admissible in court because it would encourage the police to evade the Fourth Amendment. And this later on became the legal metaphor known as fruit of the poisonous tree. In Nardone v. United States, 1939, fruit of the poisonous tree was actually implemented, and it was developed by Justice Frankfurter in his 1939 opinion. So that's how the fruit of the poisonous tree came about. It pretty much means that any evidence that has been pretty much confiscated and found on your person in an illegal manner, everything that falls under that, under that illegal search, cannot be admissible in court. It won't hold. Something else that we were starting to get into was stop and frisk. Now I know this is a concern mostly amongst the Black and brown community. You have some of our Caucasian counterparts that endure some of this illegal, stop and frisk by cops, and it's usually our less fortunate counterparts. The ones that's in poverty, just like the rest of us, brown and black folk. So when it comes to stop and frisk, people think, do I have to entertain the police? So let me put it out there, when and why you would have to or not have to entertain police. So it fully depends on the situation. If you are stopped outside of your vehicle, like say for instance, you're walking down the street and you're riding your bike, and police has reasonable suspicion that you committed the crime, legally, they can detain you briefly for questioning. So like I said, if you're outside of your house, you're outside of your house, you're outside of your vehicle, it's just your person. you're just on the street or in public, the police, legally, they can, they can stop you, briefly stop you, ask you a couple of questions, you know what I'm saying? They can. But you are covered. You are covered under your rights. So always remember your right to remain silent. You don't have to speak to the police. Now, I will I want to remind you, you got to look at all the factors. Now, if you look like me, and when I say look like me, not like identical, I'm saying like we close in skin color, give or take a couple of, shades, we have the same texture hair, Afrocentric features, you look like me. Yes, you don't have to deal with the cops. You have the right to remain silent. However, we are in a society where people that look like me, like us, like we don't get the luxury of just like, dude, come on, man. I ain't got time for this. I just want to go on by my business. We don't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? So I would recommend, I hate to put it out there like that because it seems like you got to walk on eggshells for police officers, but this is life and death. Like, people are losing their lives with their interactions with police, okay? So I would say, by all means necessary, be respectful. Let them know in a kind, courteous way. Stay calm. You know what I'm saying? Talk to them as if you would on your job and you were talking to a complete stranger and you had to get paid for this. You know what I'm saying? You talk to them, tolerating them. It's like, you know what? I know you got to do your job. You have a purpose. So I'm gonna go along with it. All right? You entertain them and you say, they ask you questions, because they can ask you questions, because legally, all that it takes is reasonable suspicion. Like I said in part 1, reasonable suspicion is messed up pretty much. But reasonable suspicion, it don't take much for somebody to be suspicious of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the first part of this video, if you are in an area where a crime was just committed, even though you have nothing to do with that crime, just because you're walking in that area, cops look at you, they have the reasonable suspicion to come over there and ask you, like, hey, who are you? Just to make sure you ain't the person that committed the crime. So I would just recommend stay calm, cool, collected. They ask you questions. Who are you? How old are you? Where do you live? Just go along with it. Answer the questions. If they want to see ID, you don't have to render it to them, but give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can get a peace of mind, so they can see, I'm not the person you think I am. Let me go about my business. You know what I'm saying? Other people have the luxury of getting away with it a little smoother, but we don't. However, you don't have to consent to searches. If they say, well, can I search you? You can say no. And when you say no, they have to respect that. If they go against that, that's a violation of your Fourth Amendment right. Then you come back to this video and then you figure out, they violated my right. What am I going to do? Sue them. They're a governmental actor. That's what you're going to do. So let's go into it. Stop and frisk. So stop and frisk was pretty much decided in this case. Terry v. Ohio in 1968. It's decided that the Fourth Amendment is not violated when a police officer stops a suspect on the street, which is public domain, frisk the person without probable cause. They don't need to believe you committed a crime to frisk you. To an arrest, as long as the officer has reasonable suspicion. They need reasonable suspicion. You don't need probable cause. They don't need to believe that a crime has been committed in order to frisk you. They need reasonable suspicion in order to frisk you. Reasonable suspicion that the person that they are frisking is about to commit a crime, has committed a crime, or is committing a crime, and they believe the person is armed and dangerous. So let me let you know, because people don't understand the difference between, stop and frisk in regards to pat downs and full-fledged searching. Okay. In stop and frisk, stop is pretty much temporarily, holding you. It's temporarily holding you, stating that, okay, I want to ask you a few questions. I believe that you may have committed a crime. I believe you are in the process of committing a crime. I believe you may be dangerous. I believe there may be a weapon on you. So I want to stop you and ask you a couple of questions. and then I'm gonna frisk you because I can do that as a police officer in my legal grasp, so shall I say. So what it is, when they stop, they're asking you questions. A frisk is a pat down. A pat down, I'm gonna get up and show you guys because I don't want any confusion. A pat down. This is a pat down. Literally patting the person down. That's it. That's it. Not once did you see me, if I can get it to adjust, but not once did you see me reach into my pockets or any of the sort. I just felt on the outside of my clothing. That's it. Just on the outside of the clothing. That is a stop and frisk. A frisk is a pat down. It's just feeling on the outside of the clothes, because when that police officer has reasonable suspicion, say for instance, okay, it's winter, you know, you got a little coat on or whatever, and but I got some skinny jeans and I got my coat on and I'm walking, you know, and I'm going down the street and I'm like full, you know, I got some smoke under my feet because it's cold outside. Lately it's been 9 degrees out here in Rochester, New York. Less than 10 degrees for at least about a week now. So yeah, but you're walking and it's cold, so you're walking with a purpose. And up there at the street, you plan on, you know, you got your wallet on you because you want to carry your credentials. You want some cash just in case you get hungry later, and you got it in your pocket. You wearing pants that's as tight as mine. As y'all saw how tight my pants were. If there was something in my pocket, you know, something was in there. So you walking, the cop goes and look, they're like, "Ho, what's that bulge in that pocket?" "Hold on, sir. Hold on, ma'am. Can I get your moment? Can I get a moment of your time?" They go ask you, "Hey, what are you doing over here? Where are you going?" Nah. As they talking to you, they patting you down on the outside of your clothing. Not once did they go into your pockets. And then they patting on the outside of your clothes. They see the bulge. They're like, "What is this?" You pull it out. "This is my wallet." And they like, "Ah. Okay, that's it. That's the end of it. That's all of it. That's the whole stop and frisk. That's how it's supposed to be. That's it. You know, they verify that it ain't what it ain't. You know, if you did have a weapon, you know, and you was all paranoid, like, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to pull them out. Well, they're like, well, that could be a gun, you know. So then you're opening doors for the next step. You know, they have reasonable suspicion you got a bulge. That next step is because now that they done realize you got a bulge, you not trying to show them what it is. They legally can think that bulge, because they can't see it, is a weapon. And they now can go to the next step of searching you because of probable cause. They done moved from reasonable suspicion to probable cause. See what I'm saying? Now that is a legal stop and frisk. An example of an illegal stop and frisk is everything that I said, except, hey, what's all that in your pocket? You don't even have to have a bulge. You got a bulge, no bulge. Sticking the hands in the pocket is wrong. Remember, pat down is on the outside. It never goes in. Never goes all up in your stuff. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. It's a violation any other way. So I want to reiterate with you guys, reasonable suspicion and probable cause. Reasonable suspicion is a legal standard of proof, which is less than probable cause, but it's more than a hunch. And based on specific and articulable facts, blended with rational inferences from those facts. So reasonable suspicion, in layman terms, is a lesser standard of proof than probable cause, where it's more than a hunch. You can't just be like, that person may have something. Like, no. You're looking at the situation, you're looking at the facts. It's like, oh, that person got a bulge in their pocket. You know, people put guns in their pockets sometimes and they cause a bulge. I can't tell what it is because I can't see through, you know, I don't got x-ray vision. So those articulable, specific facts blended with some rational inferences, I can go over there and stop them and frisk them. Pat them down. That's it. Probable cause is a reasonable basis for believing a crime may have been committed, which is grounds for an arrest, or when evidence of a crime is present in a place to be searched, which is grounds for a search. So that's pretty much all that I was going to cover. And the second part, I'm going to cover a couple of things. Strip searches, dog sniffs, and surveillance, because that is a very controversial topic where people don't know when it is, legal or illegal for surveillance to be used, dog sniffs, strip searches, So stay tuned. All right.